air full of choking fumes that carry dying embers and curling flakes of ash. Something stirs in the dark. An old woman steps forward, leering down at you from on high. Her smile is toothy and cruel. Her cheeks warp around it like melted candle wax.
I'm so glad that my messenger tracked you down. These days it's impossible to find good help. Before you draw your weapon, know that these proceedings are under a banner of peace. If this was a trap, it would have already closed around you. While Barroth whispers in one ear and Aethys shouts in the other, I thought you could use a more seasoned perspective to drown out the noise. For the moment, you are Barroth's creature. There are rules against my direct intervention, but nothing says you cannot willingly seek my counsel. Andra and Helia toe the line of acceptable conduct from time to time, but I am nothing if not adherent to our oldest laws. Don't you find it unusual how open and accessible my siblings have made themselves? After millennia of subdued whispers, now they practically scream their intentions. And isn't it strange how we never bicker unless a mortal is watching? By necessity, in fact. But that's hardly the point. If we still possessed our glorious titans, my siblings and I would have put an end to Aethys and his rampage by now. While we are powerless to stop him, some of my kin wish to observe how mortals respond to this threat. They think it will shine a light on the value of our patronage. Have we raised you well enough to be self-sufficient? Or must we return to Eora and impose some corrective measures? What indeed? That would depend on which of us you ask. A cross-section of society has converged on the Deadfire. Some of my kin are of an opinion that we are meant to judge mortals on the basis of their performance, while the rest of us have already made up our minds on the matter. Judge for yourself, but I think you'll find my intentions are more straightforward than you think. When we ascended to godhood, we did so to provide for a savage people. Our goal was to craft a society whose values were made to last. Perhaps even a society that had no need of us. A naive fallacy, but one that inspired my optimistic, misguided kin. How you and your allies counter this threat will demonstrate whether you are competent enough to guide your own destinies, or if we need to revise our strategy. The soft-hearted among us are counting on you to win this existential wager. No doubt, Aethys shares their sympathies. I do not. We exist to rule over mortals. Nothing. So now you know the truth. I assume you have questions. Prove it or disprove it, yes. I never agreed to this arrangement, but if your example demonstrates mortal ineptitude, as I trusted, an assertive minority of gods believe that your choices will prove the value of their wild optimism. As if mortal collaboration and ingenuity are endorsements of our leadership. Then there are those of us who know better, who are not so easily convinced. Kith are vulnerable, unless they submit to the destiny we chart for them. Thinking otherwise can only breed dissent and chaos. It was an ambitious plan, our utopia. Perhaps too ambitious. We ascended to power, responding to a need inadequately satisfied. Assuming these roles gave us the authority to mold Eora over time, to influence you and lay the groundwork for a society. From the outset of the plan, some believed that mortals would outgrow us, as if that was a favorable outcome. Aethys was one of those who supported mortals, while I have always been their most vocal critic. Opposition can take many forms. If a church embraces and weaponizes my doctrine, Aethys is not known for subtlety. Twice now, he has contaminated the purity of our experiment, and done so with extravagant displays that undermine our authority. Impulsive. I am the counterpoint to the soft-hearted. It makes no difference if mortals pass some orb. Regardless of my feelings, the timing of this crisis forces us to accelerate our schedule. Final judgment comes sooner than any of us would prefer. If our mortals need us, I know this as well as I know myself. Even a lawful and responsible society, any satisfaction that my siblings derived from their little experiment would be short-lived. And it would fall to me to clean up after their mess. Indeed, a little opposition is healthy. One cannot make heat without friction. Make no mistake, Watcher. In this, I cannot be proven wrong. Yes, I think we will. This is not the end of our discussion. You know how to find your way back to this place.
Boudica nods stiffly. You feel her presence drift as a breeze, rustling as it goes.